Censorship. Prohibition of any parts of books, films, or news. Banning. Suppression. Restriction. The authoritarian regime was known for its strict censorship laws. The book was banned in some countries according to censorship laws. The existence of censorship in media can limit freedom of expression. Data privacy. Practice of protecting digital information from unauthorized access. Data security. Confidentiality. Data protection. It has been difficult to get any answers due to the new data privacy policy. All users have extensive control over their own data and privacy settings. Parliament has passed these laws to protect the data privacy of radio users. Misleading. Causing someone to believe something that is not true. Fallacious. Deceitful. Inaccurate. Some of these statements are misleading and some downright mendacious. Diplomats can be a notoriously unreliable and misleading source of information. The article was misleading, and the newspaper has apologized for its reporting. Disseminate. Spread or give out something, especially news or information. Broadcast. Distribute. Communicate. If you are going to disseminate false information, then don't share it at all. The goal is to quickly disseminate information about changing conditions. The organization's aim is to disseminate information about new social trend. Influencer. A person who uses social media to sell products. Promoter. Supporter. Spokesperson. We have been experiencing the popularity of influencers on social media. She was finally able to quit and focus on her career as an influencer full-time. Being an influencer is now a fully-fledged career choice and not just a hobby. Bias. A preference for one thing over another. Favoritism. Unfairness. One-sidedness. The survey was conducted in a neutral manner to avoid any bias. His reasoning was based on personal bias, making them unreliable. News reporters must be impartial in publishing and not show political bias. Trend. Currently popular, especially on social media. Prevailing. Fashionable. Well-liked. The rise in violent crime is a disturbing trend in modern society. Read articles on specialist websites that focus on trends in your industry. Lately, there has been a trend toward hiring younger, cheaper employees. Mainstream. Accepted by the largest number of people. Conventional. Regular. Ordinary. The musician's compositions are uninfluenced by mainstream genres. Pop music is a genre that is often associated with mainstream culture. Nowadays, advertisers are trying to attract a more mainstream audience. Cybercrime. Criminal activity that is done using the internet. Violation. Law breaking. Hate crime. The rate of cybercrime has increased with the rise of technology. The news organization reported on the rise in cybercrime incidents. Cybercrime is a global issue that requires international cooperation. Editorial. Newspaper article in which the editor gives an opinion. Commentary. Critique. Coverage. The editorial in the magazine was about the benefits of reading. The journalist wrote a weighty editorial on government corruption. The editorial will provoke readers into thinking seriously about the issue. Endorsement. The action of supporting someone or something. Approval. Authorization. Backing. The endorsement from the celebrity legitimated the product's quality. The wealthy athlete's endorsement deals made him a household name. The fashion brand used a celebrity endorsement to entice more sales. Propaganda. Information, especially of a biased or misleading nature. Misinformation. Promotion. Hype. The party adopted an aggressive propaganda campaign against its rivals. Politicians often try and beat their rivals by airing propaganda on television. They have mounted a propaganda campaign against Western governments. Plagiarism. The practice of stealing someone else's work or ideas. Copying. Infringement. Piracy. Plagiarism and false reporting are counterproductive to a free press. The techniques for detecting plagiarism are becoming increasingly advanced. Students are particularly vulnerable to dangerous practices such as plagiarism. Emergence. The process of coming into existence or prominence. Extension. Advancement. Progression. The emergence of a new language can open up new opportunities. It saw the emergence of many new trends that had not been seen before. The book traces the emergence of China as a superpower in the 21st century. Diffusion. The action of spreading in many directions. Transmission. Penetration. Entrance. The diffusion of knowledge has been made easier by the Internet. The diffusion of cultural practices can lead to the preservation of traditions. The diffusion of art and literature can bridge gaps between different cultures. Cyberbullying. Harassing with the use of digital technologies. Online harassment. Bullying. Maltreatment. Cyberbullying affects children and adults at home, school, work, and online. People can adopt coping strategies to combat future cyberbullying events. Most cyberbullying often goes unreported as the victim feels nothing can be done. Racism. The belief that people of some races are inferior to others. Prejudice. Intolerance. Bigotry. The anti-racism movement fights against racism and discrimination. Black Americans have faced discrimination and racism throughout history. In recent times, the authorities have taken steps to combat racism in schools. Backlash. A strong negative reaction by a large number of people. Reaction. After effect. Chain reaction. The government had to withdraw its proposal due to public backlash. The company violated the animal welfare laws and faced public backlash. The ad was misleading, so the company faced backlash from consumers. Demography. The statistical study of human populations. Statistics. Population size. Population tally. Understanding demography is important for predicting workforce needs. Internet users are segmented on the basis of geography and demography. Demography is an important factor in predicting future population growth. Obituary. A notice of a death, especially in a newspaper. Death notice. Funereal. Memorial. The obituary mentioned her passion for volunteering and helping others. The newspaperman wrote an obituary for a prominent community member. Summarizing his life, Muhammad Ali's obituary was plastered in the newspaper. Eyewitness. A person who has seen something happen. Spectator. Onlooker. Observer. According to eyewitness accounts, soldiers opened fire on the crowd. The eyewitness's credibility was questioned during cross-examination. The jury towards the eyewitness testimony was conflicted and uncertain. Bulletin. A short official statement or broadcast summary of the news. Report. Announcement. Notice. News bulletins with local content can be heard at the following times. Media interrupts this program to bring you an important news bulletin. No news bulletins or current affairs programs will air Wednesday or Thursday. Crowdfunding. Raising money from many people to fund a project. Financing. Sponsoring. Patronizing. The new crowdfunding campaign has already passed its minimum goal. Every successful non-profit crowdfunding campaign starts with a good story. Crowdfunding sites generate revenue from a percentage of the funds raised. E-commerce. Buying and selling of goods and services over the Internet. E-business. Online trading. Cyberbusiness. E-commerce operates in market segments including business to business. If you'd like your business to be online, visit e-commerce to start the process. The word e-commerce was coined to refer to business done over the Internet. Espionage. The activity of secretly collecting and reporting information. Surveillance. Spying. Lookout. He eventually becomes a detective, specializing in cases of espionage. The big computer companies are very worried about industrial espionage. Digging through someone's trash to get information is an act of espionage. Eye-catching. Immediately appealing or noticeable, striking. Impressive. Arresting. Astonishing. He saw a man walking along the street using an eye-catching mobile. Their press releases should be eye-catching and on boldly headed paper. The company's name has just been reissued with an eye-catching headline. Scandal. Disgraceful events or nasty gossip about people's private lives. Misconduct. Disgrace. Embarrassment. The fuel that drives pop culture seems to be gossip and scandals. My sister loves reading about all the scandals that movie stars get into. There was gossip and scandal, but it never affected his business dealings.